Hey everyone, I'm Kevin Griffin, and this is a quick tip for all of you that use Visual Studio. I just recently did a full reinstall of my entire machine, fresh Visual Studio instance, and I noticed a little quirk that I had fixed previously that it kept popping up for me. I'm going to show you what it is. And we're inside of a constructor and just any generic class. And let's say I want to add some parameter to that constructor. So we'll say a GUID and say foo. Make sure our usings are correct. Well, normally what you could just do in Visual Studio is create a new field called foo. And this is going to name the field a little bit incorrectly, in my opinion. Now, your opinion or your team's opinion might vary, but my opinion is this variable that is creating should have an underscore to it. This is my naming style. So if I were to create the field like this, you see I have the this.foo is equal to foo, and that's not what I want. What I'd rather it be is underscore foo, because this makes more sense to me from a C# point of view, and I think to a lot of you all as well. Well, how can you get Visual Studio to change this on your behalf? Well, let's take a look. I'm going to undo all this work that I just did. So we're back to square one. I'm going to show you up in the search bar of Visual Studio. I want you to type in naming style. Now make sure you're selecting naming style for C#. You could also go to the options directly and find this dialog, but it's easier to use the search bar. So you go down to naming, and the first thing that we need to do is generate a naming style. You'll see that some of them are already in here. I'm going to say manage naming styles, create a new one, and we're going to name this style case. So we'll call this field. It's going to require a prefix of underscore, and we're going to set it to camel case. So the sample identifier looks the way that I would expect a private field to look. So cool. I'll say okay. This exists. I'll say okay again. Now I have to tell Visual Studio how I prefer these types of fields to be named. So I'll hit the plus sign. Tell it I want to worry about private or internal fields. They require the style underscore field, and you can call that anything you want to. And when I don't use this naming style, do I want it to just be a suggestion, or should it be a warning or an error? I'm going to put it as a suggestion, and we'll say okay. Now I'm going to go do the exact same thing that I've done before. We'll say GUID bar this time. We'll give it a different name. So when I hit my suggestions, we'll see that instead of this dot bar, Visual Studio is telling me that I can use just underscore bar, and that's the correct naming that I would want. Not only that, the recommendations kick into place as well. So let's rename this just the bar, and I should have a brand new suggestion here on the bar field telling me that I'm violating the naming rule, that I'm missing the prefix underscore. So, and it will fix that for me if I ask it to, and everything is right in the world again. So you can use this feature to set up your development environment any way that you wish, and Visual Studio will enforce it for you. And I hope this has been a lot of help. I'll see y'all next time.